Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Courtney. Today I have got some really fun Christmas DIYs that will not break the bank to make. So let's get crafting. For this Dollar Tree DIY, you want to pick up 3 of these wooden little Christmas containers, we'll call them. Now, mine had Santa heads, it had snowmen, and I think that's it, but I went with trees. Now, I'm going to start by painting the tree on the front, the back, as well as the side of the box. I'm also going to paint the inside just because these are going to be displayed out, and I just want to make sure that everything is covered. Once the trees are painted and nice and dry, I'm going to take some brown wax. I like the Deco Art brown wax, and I'm going to paint the base of this with that brown wax. While the trees were drying, I grabbed 3 wooden stars that I have in a huge pack. It's a big variety pack of sizes, and I wanted to paint them gold. So I have a lot of gold paint, and I have constantly been on the search for a really good, bright, shimmery gold paint, and I finally found one from Deco Art. I will definitely try to link this down below if I can find it somewhere. I got mine at Hobby Lobby, but I will try to find a place along with everything else in today's video. Just check that description box. And I painted the stars with that gold paint on the front and the back. Now, the next step was attaching the stars. Now, I keep it real here, so let me tell you what I did so that you know if you want to try it, whether it works or not. So my first attempt at putting the star on, I put a big blob at the tip of the tree, and I put the star on kind of, I guess, halfway down. I don't know what it was. It just looked a little odd. Like the star was too far down. So then I got the brilliant idea of like, oh, well, I'll just put a blob of glue on the very tippy top of the tree and put the star on there. Well, that wasn't stable, and for what I'm using this for, I knew it was going to get knocked off. So the winning solution to this was to put a little bit of glue at the tip and then just to barely put it on that tip, but enough to where it would hold secure. And that's what I went with for these 3 trees. I glued all 3 stars on just like that. Now we're at the point where I'm going to tell you another idea that I was going to do, but opted not to do it. So right now I'm getting my splatter paint game on, like just totally channeling the splatter paint, and had a little too much fun with that. But before I decided to do splatter paint, I was going to take my rotary tool and punch little holes in the tree and use some of those fairy lights that are colored that I show you guys all the time. Again, I will link it all down below, and just feed those through. I thought that would be really cute, but I decided to get messy and do a little splatter painting. Wearing band-aids while you splatter paint is not the best idea, but I just splatter painted only one side, the side that had the star, on each of these 3 trees. The last thing I wanted to do to these trees was to add some bows to it. So I found this really cute ribbon at Hobby Lobby, and I wanted to just attach these to the trees. So I just used some hot glue and glued down the bows. Now I did want to say this. If you find ribbon that is one-sided like this one is, this is how I get it to work to where the loop and the tails of the bow all show the design, but then the center part is kind of the opposite side, the plain side. So what you want to do is you make 2 loops, you go to tie a knot, and then before you tighten it, you kind of just twist that one tail that's facing the wrong way and hold it as you pull the loops. I hope that's a good explanation, but that is how you can get it to where the design shows on all of those 4 components, the 2 loops and the tails. And now you've made yourself some utensils holder. Now, if you're going to do spoons, knives, and forks, obviously you probably want to use these for a smaller party, but if it's for a bigger party, you could put forks in all of them and then kind of scatter them about on the table so that people could just easily grab them. But they're super cute. You could put candy canes, hot cocoa stir sticks, lots of options for these cute little holders. Now here is a cute way to make this $5 candle from Dollar Tree a little more festive. I started by taking off obviously the price tag on the lid and then the actual sticker on the candle. I decided to go ahead and take that off. Now you could certainly leave that. You could cut out some Cricut letters and add them on there. You could get sticker letters. You could do whatever you wanted to as far as label goes. I ended up using some of this undo remover, which one of my subscribers actually recommended, but I did start first with my heat gun. I hit it a little bit of heat. I didn't want to do too much because I did not want to melt the candle. And then I realized, oh wait, why am I doing this? I should use my undo remover. And it works really well because you just kind of squeeze the stuff out. It slides down the little scraper and then you scrape it off. So it's actually pretty handy. Once that was removed, I took some red and white checked ribbon that I had and I hot glued that around the rim of the candle. And then I went through my little box of tiny embellishments. Most of these did come from Hobby Lobby. I tried to figure out what I wanted to use and ended up wanting to use one of the little peppermint candies along with one of the mini little cookies that I had in my stash. I just used some hot glue to secure those down to the lid and to each other. And then I pieced together a bow using that same red and white check ribbon. I had very little ribbon, and so I literally was like trying to salvage every little square inch of that ribbon to try to make a bow. I hot glued the bow down, and then I decided, hey, this needs something else. And so I had one of these little mini gingerbread ornaments, again from Hobby Lobby, and I just hot glued that down to the back. It was the perfect little touch, this cute little candle, but this is a great gift idea for somebody. And the candle actually smells really, really nice. It was the mistletoe kiss, I think is what it was, or yeah, I think that's what it was called, mistletoe kiss. I can't remember, but it smells really good and it's definitely much cuter now. I have had these wooden stars in my stash for a while. They came from Dollar Tree and I wanted to turn these in to some kind of light up star. So I started by painting them with some gold paint. This was before I found that better gold paint. So I did paint them on the front and the back with some gold paint. And then I also grabbed out a little wooden cube that I have and painted that gold. Now, I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to do the fairy lights. I had thought about stringing them through like all the little holes to like in between the lights so that it kind of spread the light out a little bit more along the star. But I ended up just taking the easy way out, and that was to first hot glue my little wooden cube to the center of one of the stars, and then I just took my fairy lights and wrapped it around that little wooden cube and fed the back of the battery pack through that back star. So this could essentially be placed on a wall if you wanted to. You could kind of set it behind something and it'll just give that little extra pop of light. It doesn't light up as much as I really wanted it to, but it does give off a nice little glow, and I do like how it turned out. This next DIY, I'll be using one of these Dollar Tree cutting boards. It can be used as a gift idea, or it could turn into a home decor piece. You can pretty much take it whichever direction you want. So to start with, I'm going to wood burn onto this cutting board. If you've been with me for a while, you know how much I love to wood burn. So I've cut a stencil out on my Cricut. You don't have to use Cricut stencils. You can pick up these sticky stencils at Hobby Lobby has them. I believe Michael's has some. Don't quote me on that, but you can find a stencil from anywhere. It just needs to be able to adhere really, really well to the wood. And you want to start by taking some torch paste and doing a very thin layer of the torch paste over your stencil. Go with the wood of grain at first, and then I go kind of across the grain, and then I go back to the grain. You want to get off all the excess torch paste. Let it sit for 3 minutes. peel off your stencil, and you're ready to wood burn. You do need to use a heavy duty heat gun, not the small crafting heat ones, because it does have to be pretty high heat. Burn your cutting board, and then once it's done, you want to make sure you let it cool all the way. Now, after it's cooled, I like to take a baby wipe and gently wipe over my design. Don't press too hard. You just want to get that extra residue off. And then you need to seal it, especially if there's going to be food placed on it. So I like to use the butcher block, or the Howard's butcher block, and I usually end up doing 3 coats, letting it dry 24 hours between each coat so it can harden up. And then this is where you can kind of take this either direction. So I found this really cute. It could be an ornament or a cookie cutter at World Market. And then just want to tie this to the center of it. And then here you go. You've got yourself a gift. Now, if you found a cute something like this, you could just glue that puppy straight to the cutting board. And now you've got yourself a little sign. So you could go either way with this. And of course, you could fluff it even more if you do give it as a gift with some cookie mix and a whisk and a oven mitt. So you could take it as far as you wanted to go with this gift idea, but it's a very simple, easy, literally it does not take much time at all, and it definitely does not cost very much to do. For this DIY, you want to grab some type of candle holder. It needs to be clear. It could be a small votive holder like I'm using, or you could use a bigger vase. It depends on how many, and I'm going to call these things gemstones. I don't know what Dollar Tree calls them. I had these red and green ones. I've been hunting for red ones and I can't seem to find them. So I don't have very many to work with, and I actually have another idea for a DIY. So I'm going to be working with some hot glue, and I'm going to tell you why you probably shouldn't do that in just a minute. But I needed to decide first, based on how many I had, if I wanted to do horizontal rows of these going up the votive holder or do vertical lines. And what I ended up doing was 4 gemstones. I did vertical lines, so 4 red ones, and then 2 rows of 4 of the green, and then 4 red ones, and that's how I had enough to cover the entire vase. Again, I am using hot glue because I probably am going to break this down and try to reuse those. But if you want it to withstand whatever you're going to do to it, I would highly recommend using a more permanent solution of a glue to make sure that those stay on there. Now, they do have clear ones, so if you can find red and the clear ones, that would look really cute. But I just love this little glow. I just added some fairy lights into it. It just kind of gives that little extra glow of Christmas spirit somewhere in your home. And guess what? That wraps up another round of Christmas DIYs using Dollar Tree supplies. Let me know down below which one of these projects was your favorite. Also, I'm on the hunt for some new appetizer recipes. So I have my go-to recipes. I know some of y'all requested that one of my YouTube short mini series includes some snacky foods. So if you have a great appetizer, will you drop it down in the comments, just like a brief description, and I may be reaching out to some of you to get recipes, and I might include those in my short if I can cram all that into one video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Here are some more fun Christmas videos you might enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!